Good morning, good morning. I hope you are all doing well in this exceptionally lovely day ahead. So basically on today's video, a bit random but a bit like what I stand for basically. I always, in order to get what I want, I always get what I want, and that is, it's a plus and it's a minus because it drives people insane, but I always get what I want because I work hard towards it, obviously. If you have seen in previous videos and in vlogs and stuff like that, this past days, weeks, we've been talking about a house that we do not have. The reason being, a lot of people have always told me buy house stuff before you get a house, because then the fees of owning a house, of paying everything and stuff like that will drive you insane. So that's why we're buying stuff for a house that we don't have. That's the reason. On that topic, I decided that today I am going to give you a bit of a I'm gonna put it out there, what is my dream living room, and I just want to put it out there. And like this, we're gonna have like a series of what's my dream hallway, what's my dream kitchen, what's my dream bedroom, what's my dream bathroom, and all of the above, and see if anytime in the bloody future any of these will actually come to reality. So let's start off with the living room. So I am a very classical girl. I love anything that has to do with history. I love everything that is a bit English, so to speak. I love coziness. I like seeing a space and thinking about it, even in, like, for example, the Christmas time, you know what I mean? For example, I don't want to just have a living room and say like I'm designing it in this way, and then when Christmas comes along it's just an old Christmas tree in the living room. I want to have the feel of like having the Christmas tree and then like children running everywhere and like having presents everywhere. You know what I mean? I don't know why, or because we're going near December, but it's, I think, in my opinion, I've always been like this. I want to see like in different perspective. I'm not just designing just for the sake of having a cabinet there, you know what I mean? I am that type of a designer. I want to see it in full potential. I know a lot of people don't bloody care about these things. They are just happy with, like, I don't know, a IKEA shelving. There's nothing wrong with an IKEA shelving. I'm just saying, some people like to go for the simplest route and they're just okay, let's go. Whilst me, I'm like, I'm searching for the cabinet, I'm looking for it. I love Marketplace and Malta Park. I love like looking and searching for a very unique piece. I love antiques and I love turning them into pieces that are nowadays like in style, which some people actually don't take in consideration, that trends, styles, whatever it is, obviously come back around. So some pieces that are actually trending right now, like for example the cane chairs and like these types of art deco features, they've been in like style, so to speak, since the 1920s. So why do I need to buy something that costs €1,000 when I can get it for €50, man, like from a second-hand person? Like, you know what I mean? Anyways, these things get me absolutely excited, and I said, why not? Why not? I'm a very positive person, and especially when it comes to design, fashion, interiors, anything that has to do with aesthetics, basically, I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. The more raw, I hate fake things. Like one thing because I stopped doing, especially my nails. First of all, the increase in prices, I was like, no. I love the artistic take on it, that every month you get your nails done and stuff like that. But now I'm appreciating my raw self. And if you all know me, I do not like makeup whatsoever. I only wear mascara, so that's another, you know what, I am such a, I think I consider myself like a hippie on ecstasy basically. So let me show you a bit what I had in mind. So basically I always wanted a living room which wasn't just accommodating for being only a living room. So let's recap. Do you know when you go to people's houses and like they invite you over and then they have, for example, an L-shaped sofa, and when you have like an L-shaped sofa, this small area where everyone wants to like lay down, basically the other person that's sitting on the edge of that like piece at the end is really uncomfortable because the depth is quite deep, so your legs are like floating about. So I always thought of having a 3 to 4 seater sofa and then having 2 armchairs next to each other, or for example a 2-seater. Reason being, the majority of the tables go from a table of 4, we can say a table of 2, a table of 4, a table of 6, a table of 8, so on and so forth. But the most common household table is a table of 6. Reason being, if for example your parents have 2 children, you're already 4, and if they bring their girlfriends, boyfriends around, they're already 6. You know what I mean? If you bring your parents-in-law, you're 2, it's already 6. You know what, you get me? So it's quite a practical table, having a table of 6. And so the reason being, you have to have, if you're seating 6 people in a dining area, you have to have a seating where you're going to spend the remaining of the evening or the remaining of the day in the living room. Logic, man. But some people don't think about this, and I find myself in a very particular situation, because then you have like people sitting in the dining area because they don't have a seat in the living room, people speaking like from one room to the next, or other people sitting on the floor, or otherwise like being super squashed, and I'm like, what? No. So this is a very like good tick in the box type of situation. So I always recommend, do not, even though it's an angle, even though whatever it is, don't go for an L-shaped sofa or a U-shaped. Don't go for them. It's so uncomfortable, those edges, that no one will sit on them. Like, trust me, no one will sit on them. And then years come and you want to change that. Then, saying this, when I think of a household nowadays, buying a 3-bedroom apartment, buying a 3-bedroom property is costing so much, which is so bloody ridiculous. Like, we're talking about, for example, buying it for 250 to 60, like an apartment we're saying, or maybe a townhouse that requires a bit of like work to be done, but then you end up paying with the loan and everything like that nearly $500,000. So people are not opting for that, because at the end of the day they're like buying a $500,000 property which doesn't actually run, like it doesn't actually cost $500,000. It's because of the interest rates and all of that. And when I think about it, I'm like, how? If I'm inviting 6 people over, so you have the main bedroom and you have like the guest child bedroom, you know what I mean? So when, for example, a couple, if they would like to have a child, they generally have the second bedroom dedicated for a child. Or for example, if they don't actually have a plan to have children in place in the future, and they use that bedroom as a study, but even have a bed in it just in case they have guests over. And I was like, so where is the other 2 people going to sleep? Let's make, for example, as I said, for example, you have I don't know, your child, and you're bringing like their cousins along, and they need to do a sleepover. Like, where are they going to sleep over? Like, even like nowadays the spaces are so limited, so literally, so where is anyone going to sleep? Like, can you please explain to me? So another thing that I came up with is the use of the sofa being a sofa bed. You tell me, but like, look, like you're not going to use it every day. Hun, it's not the, like, who who the hell is going? I'm not speaking about the sofa bed, like when you have like the mattress that flips open. No, there are sofa beds that basically you have a piece underneath which is like extendable, so basically you can use it even like a footrest in reality, which is really, really comfortable. It's like the piece of the L-shaped sofa but throughout the sofa, which is absolutely great. And like that, if you have guests over, whatever reason, grandparents over, this, that, whatever it is, that can't drive or can't whatever it is, they can sleep and crash there. Genius, man, genius. So you already have, let's say, like a third hidden bedroom, which is stunning. Then as well, if someone is sleeping there or they're crashing your place for an amount of time, and I am against open spaces. I hate the concept of having an open space, such as like the kitchen, living, dining all crashed into one. What? Like, that's such a waste of space, hon. Like, literally, like, it looks so black. Alright, here, hey, I am against, not saying modern, but I really like the quirkiness of old, like, let's say, plans of properties in the olden times. Let's say like 1900s, that type of plans. I absolutely love them. And when you start cutting areas off, you initially say, so the living room needs to be cut off, as we're using it as well nowadays for the bedroom, like as a bedroom if guests come over. So if you need a door, which initially you don't want to see a door if you don't have space. I'm talking about space, obviously keeping in mind spaces. If you see that the living room where you are doesn't actually, even like you're blocking a lot of light, or like space, there isn't enough space for a door or whatever it is, just do a pocket door. A pocket door does miracles. It's like only like 9 to 11 centimeters. You have like a door that slides through it, so the only width that you are actually covering is the width of the door, but then you have the width of the door being as well exposed if you don't need the door closed. But if you have guests over, they have privacy, which I absolutely love. Because if you have guests over, or nieces or nephews or this or that, staying in the bedroom or in the living room, the thing that I absolutely hate and gives me like the freaks, man, is when you're sleeping on the bloody sofa and then you hear like the owner of the house making coffee in the morning and they're just looking at you, and I'm like, now I'm getting paranoid, mate. Like, I need to wake up. Like, this is really bad. Like, I feel uncomfortable being in this situation. So take that in consideration. It's such a small, and they don't cost a lot. Like, for example, I was looking at these things, like price wise, we're talking around maybe 500, under 1000 for sure. Like, really, you're going like quite bold, that, but around 500 euro-ish you will be covered for sure. So I'm like, an extra space, man, use the space, go wide, like really good, you know what I mean? Anyways, then, oh my god, mate, apertures. You know, apertures give like the natural lighting, and this, I love a lovely window, I love a lovely balcony, I love it. So in order, if for example you have a space which doesn't actually have a lot of light going throughout, use a mirror. A mirror does bloody wonders. The reason being, it gives the effect that there is an actual aperture, when reality it's not an aperture, it's a mirror, because it bounces the light from the aperture to the bloody window, out to the bloody mirror, and it gets so bright. And wow, and keep always in mind the rule of mirrors. You only have to put maximum 2 mirrors in a room, separate, obviously we're talking, not like wall to wall mirrors, you know what I mean, like single mirrors. Always put 2 only, that's the maximum, otherwise it gets a bit overwhelming, you feel like you're getting observed for whatever reason. Yes, so that's a lovely trick. Then as well, lighting is absolutely key in any bloody household, being you're using it as a kitchen, bedroom, whatever it is. It's very important, lighting. I always say, that lighting should be given as much importance as space. Reason being, if the property is looking dull, it's looking like, how can I explain it to you, so suffocated, first of all, you will be living in a really dull place. Second of all, if you would like to sell it, it won't sell that much. Properties that give, like for example, the idea that is open and freeing and like it's very inviting, that sells really fast. So keep that in mind. And using table lamps, using floor lamps, depending the like your situation of like cleaning situations and stuff. So we're talking about floor lamps, table lamps, wall lights as well. So yes, always keep in mind these types of things, because obviously, for example, having an armchair and having a table lamp next to it, so cute. And I saw as well, they are not selling, but I saw it like on Malta Park and stuff, a side table with a table lamp in it, so it's like a 2-in-1, and I was genius. So keep that in mind. Going on that as well, coving, mate, coving in the bloody ceilings does wonders. It actually elevates your eye's perspective and gives the illusion that the ceilings are higher. Now there is a twist to it. If you add LED lights, so instead of putting, so this is like the ceiling soffit, so instead of putting it exactly against it, you just have a bit, apologies, the camera cut me off. So instead of putting it exactly against the soffit, you just leave a gap and you put the LED light in it, obviously with Alexa, no need for wiring, nothing at all. Han, the effect that it comes, it's so like, you say, what the hell? It's like, it's the play of light, it's amazing. When you see it, it's like having a really classical piece, but then adding a twist to it, because we're adding LED. The olden times, they never used LED in bloody soffit and coving, so. And it's so warm. It's like a very ambient, very chilled type of vibe. Trust me, you will thank me later. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the curtains, the blinds. They're literally covering the aperture. Hun, nowadays, having small spaces, before even like in palazzos, for example, they do those like really big dramatic curtains, which obviously if you have the space and if you have the height, they look mwah, to die for. But if in your living room you use a black rod, I say a black rod because it stands out even more, and with the type of fabric that I'm thinking about, I always go for whites, neutrals and sheets. Reason being, it gives movement, it gives play, then you let the light pass through it softly, and then as well it gives a bit of privacy. It's so delicate, it's not dragging, nothing, it's so peaceful. Love it. As well, put the rods of the curtains that you're using as high up, nearly touching, I may say, to the coving, because it gives the illusion that the property has actually higher ceilings. So take that in consideration as well. Then another thing, and yes, I think I have this one and another thing I want to talk about. So then, and the other thing I wanted to say is using space, but in the right manner. You know that they use, for example, a cabinet here, or for example, they sell a lot of like already done units, like wall mounted and stuff, like rectangles basically. No. Reason being, when you then put it on the bloody wall, you start seeing gaps, and you're like, what the hell is that? Like, I'm not using the space correctly, am I? Like, I need a frame now there, and then you remove the frame, and you're like, no, I need wallpaper, and that's not even that problem. The problem is the whole thing surrounding the bloody television is not doing any justice, neither to the television, neither to the living room, neither to you, regarding storage. So I 100% recommend this trick. So obviously, do not get built-in televisions, for obvious reason. If you would like to expand, even though there is like distances to respect regarding televisions. Get an all-round customized unit, like let's say a library, that beneath it you have like cupboards where you can store nicks and like pieces of television, like the cables, whatever it is, down there, game boards, whatever it is. Then you're gonna have a trick. You're gonna have the facade being shelving, so you can display pictures of the family, decor that you like, whatever you're into. And then this thing opens like a book, like you grab it, it opens, and inside there is a wardrobe, which means you have like a rod where you hang your stuff. Han, like literally multi-purpose, multi-bloody purpose. And if for example you tell me about, look, like I'm not gonna hang stuff there. First of all, house, for example, coats, jackets and stuff like that in a household take a lot of space, so that I know for sure you will actually use it quite good. And then if you tell me no, I'm more of a boxy storagey person, you can put like really small shelving in it, but you can remove them whenever you don't need them and just place them at the bottom. Han, you will think really, even like Christmas decor, Halloween decor, Easter decor, children's playing stuff, you will thank me bloody later. Anyways, going to the next point as well is the carpet. I know, everyone has a bloody dilemma on a bloody carpet. Should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? If, like the vast majority of nowadays people are living in apartments, you will be doing a huge bloody favor to the person living beneath you, because they will not hear as much the stepping, the movements going above that certain point where it's covered with carpet. Now, yes, it does accumulate dust, and yes, it is a bit more high maintenance than normal tiling, but in actual respect, like if you're having a carpet in the living room, don't go with dirty shoes on it. And I always recommend, unless you're getting like people to come and clean it every so often and maybe you don't afford that, to get a piece of like carpet that actually you know that you can maintain it at your own pace, and it's like even like dog friendly, pet friendly, whatever it is, and even people that suffer from allergies. Basically, I'm saying this apart from that the person living beneath you will actually tell you thank you for so much, but it joins everything together. Like it makes like the armchair and the sofa, it makes it a bit more homey. Going as well, apart from that, like the carpet, it's a matter of opinion. You want to do it, do it. It's as well sound insulation as well, so do whatever you like. If you want to do it, if you don't do it. It's very easy. Another thing regarding coffee tables, not that much about side tables, but coffee tables, especially if you're limited with space, go for a round oval coffee table. Reason being, if you have people, you have a dog, you have a child, you have yourself, and you pass really roughly through it, you'll get hurt really fastly, and it's no use. So just get, for safety reasons, even if you bump, nothing happens, get a round coffee table. You'll thank me as well later. Then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the color of the walls. Wallpaper, do we do it? Do we don't do it? Do we do it first? Do we do it later? What do we do? So regarding like the actual paint of the property, I would say stick to one color throughout the property as the first round. So just for example, you don't like the paint that the property was built in, or maybe you like it, it's white, let's say it's white, okay, it's white. I actually go against white for the reason being it looks very cold. I always go for something, I always recommend to go for something that is with a hint of warmth in it. Reason being, if for example you are from Malta, or you are for example from other countries, you'll actually understand this. Rock actually gives the concept of being into like a cozy cottage. It gives you warmth. So why doesn't, for example, brick, like a concrete brick give you warmth because it's cold, you know what I mean? It's like a play of color. So always go, even though you would like white, go for like a very warm white, and you'll feel a bit more cozy. It's still bright, but it is more warm. Now I have people that say I love color in every room being different. For example, the living room being green, the kitchen being blue, this and that. Okay, but if you don't know this, like, go and check it out immediately. When you buy the paint from, they generally have like a sequence of paints that go and complement the paint that you bought. So go and ask for that and see if that works for you, because maybe the color that you're choosing, there's another color which is quite similar to it but or a bit different, that complements with the colors that you like, that you want to go throughout the house. So you don't need actually to stress like, but does this green go, or is this too dull, or is this hun, it's already there and settled. Like, literally just go get the bloody paint, see what you think about it, and that's it. So you can paint whatever colors you want in each bedroom. I don't bloody care. It's saying that as well, if you're doing wallpaper, I know it is a bit of a dilemma. I do not recommend doing it on edges. Regarding edges, like, you know, when there's like the wall finishes and there's the edge, and they put the wallpaper, for example, and then there is the edge, that starts peeling off immediately, and the only way not to get it peeling off is like with a cover. Don't do that, it's horrible. Literally, it is really horrible. I actually recommend doing that for a feature wall, or otherwise if the room is like a box and then it has like the edges to cover the whole walls with wallpaper. It's expensive, I prepare you from now, it is expensive. Sometimes I say maybe it is, for the properties of nowadays, a bit too much, a bit out there. But if you want to start slowly and still like the idea of wallpaper, do just a feature wall. Do it behind the sofa, do it, for example, in the bedrooms, do it for one wall. Just go crazy with one wall, and then just leave the rest being like the same. Just leave everything being the same, and I think that has a bit more of a uniformity, and as well it doesn't cost that much. And if you get fed up of it or whatever it is, it's just one wall, not like covering the whole wall, like the whole room, you know what I mean? So yes, I hope, oh my god, how much I spoke. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please, if you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, because I've seen from the analytics that a lot of people that see my videos are not actually subscribed. So subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.